how you guys doing? It's Ryan here from Active TV, and we are coming at you. Yes, we are coming at you with another Blender tutorial. So we are getting into the patterns, the default patterns within Blender, which is pretty exciting. The reason why is because, hey, let's admit it, often what happens is that when you're creating a new texture, you often go to Google and you've got to go to those sites and go look for a texture that is going to match the texture that you need to create. So you need to go and look for the images and you need to try and look for something very specific. But I want to tell you today that there are default textures that are within Blender that you can actually use to your ability, and that just makes it so much cooler, so much easier, so much faster if you know what you're doing with each texture. So for the next couple of videos, we're going to be going through all the different textures. I'm going to keep each video a texture and I'm going to keep it down to within 5 minutes, so it's going to be pretty quick. All right, so the first video that I want to look at, and it's something that we have looked at before, and it's called the brick texture. All right, now the brick texture, we know already that when I plug this guy in, you get the standard brick. Obviously, I need to change to the render preview to see my texture on my object. And you can see it's a brick texture. It does not support X and Y. However, I have gone through the thing of a video how if you want to get those all around, and I will quickly show you after this right at the end. But this texture only supports X and Y, which is it doesn't support X and Y, which is why you are seeing it right on top. Okay. So first of all, if this frequency over here object is what gives us the random throw off on each line. So if I get rid of that, I've got you can see how they're all nicely lined up. Then I'm going to go into my width and my height. I'm going to make them the same, so they're both 0.5. All right, and then I've got perfect squares, which is quite nice. So this is if you're looking for a tiled wall. The other thing that I can do is, you see these black borders over here, I can adjust them as well. So I do that within here. So first of all, let me show you the smooth. So if I open this over here, I actually smooth the borders off. You can actually see how they've become a lot smoother. If I take this to 2, okay, it looks like it's between 0 and 1. So I can go between 0, which is hard, and 1, which is quite smooth. But the other thing is that I can actually adjust the borders themselves. All right, you can see it's quite hard. So if I go to 1, the borders are very thick. If I go to 0, there are no borders at all, but I can go in between. So 0.5, 0.1, 0.0. Okay, let's go half of that. So 0.05. You can see how I can adjust the size. So let's put the hard. Well, my smooth is down again, so you can see between a thick border to well, something that is probably a lot more thicker to even something that is a lot more smaller. All right, I can adjust those sizes right over there. The other thing that I can go for is, I mean, just looking at alone right there, looks like one of those, you know, like a tiled floor from you know, those subway walls, or like a bathroom wall, or, you know, perhaps bottom of a swimming pool, or, you know, something cool like that. Maybe you're going for something more disco-y, whatever. Then, I mean, you know, you're able to plug in colors in that. All right, you can even grab the fact out of there and plug that into a color wall, see what it does. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I can even rotate these walls over here, well, the tiles over here. And the way that I would do that, because you can see there's not really too much options here for us to do that. The way that I would actually do that is, first of all, by actually plugging in a this vector. So if I shift A, and then I add in vector, and I add in vector mapping. All right, and then what I do is then I plug in my vector output into my vector input, and you still won't see anything, and that's just simply because you are needing to add in a texture coordinate, just to tell it exactly where to place itself. So I'm going to take the generator, plug that into my vector input right over there. All right, and then you'll have these options available to you. And I'm going to rotate Y by 45, and well, there you go. There I have now rotated them as promised. You can scale them up as well if you want to scale up and down you know, these tiles over here, pretty cool. Now if I take object, so I'm going to break this away, I'm going to take object, plug that into my vector. Okay, still nothing. Let's try UV. I think it's UV. There you go. And now you've got your brick texture looking like something cool and funky like this all over your object. All right, so that is the brick texture. All right, there's some few things. I'm sure you can use your imagination, play around with them, but it's very basic, very simple, built into Blender. My brick texture right there, adding some things to adjust it, your texture coordinate, as well as my mapping, and then you got your brick texture. All right, so that's pretty cool. Next video, we're going to be looking at the Voronoi texture. Never heard of that? All right, next video is called Voronoi. So guys, hit like because you like what I just did, and hit the thumbs, well, yeah, that's the thumbs up button, and subscribe to this channel because you want to get more, because when you subscribe and you hit the bell button, you'll get notified when I do release more videos. All right, so until the next video, check you.